KK checking in here from the THNK School of Leadership Storytelling Workshop. I'm with Sue Biely. How's it going, Sue?
Good.
Yeah, awesome. Sue is a facilitator, works with groups, helps them to kind of self-actualize and realize their full potential. Is that kind of
Be more innovative together.
Awesome. You facilitated some workshops that have meant a lot to me in my life, including the Media That Matters workshop out on Cortez Island at Hollyhock. A bunch of filmmakers traditionally, but now new media makers and storytellers in general, who are really trying to connect their craft with their heart and values. Is that an accurate description, would you say?
Yeah.
Cool. And what are some of the projects that you're up to now?
Ooh, a bunch of stuff. Working a lot with the National Film Board around their interactive digital storytelling and the innovations in form and story, all around social cause story.
Maybe I just want to pause there for a moment. For those of you who don't know or who are watching from outside Canada, we have this organization in Canada. It's called the National Film Board.
Yeah.
They support artists and filmmakers generally, help to develop skills, processes and techniques and stuff.
They also have an incredible interactive studio where they're doing a lot of cutting edge work of sort of breaking the whole form of interactive storytelling and what's possible there. So they're sort of like, in the Wild West of playing with interactive storytelling on all different kinds of platforms.
Awesome. And the other things you wanted to tell us about that you're working on?
Where to start? Doing a fair amount of work with helping people, just groups of people looking at scenarios that they're in and how to start to make leaps, how to start to think differently, work together, sense differently, collaborate so that they can make a leap in understanding or running an experiment so to test a hypothesis and learn more about how their target group actually responds to a disruption or a slight change.
Do you consider yourself an empath?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
Oh, God.
Like Deanna Troi on Star Trek?
I would say, you can't use a Star Trek reference to me, dude. No, I would say that it's that whole thing of actually having multiple ways of knowing, sensory knowing. So it's not just through the verbal, it's through a lot of intuition and also reading of body language and starting to really try and pick up more on what's actually happening in the field for an individual or a collective.
Does my body language tell you that my arm is tired?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at this rad storytelling workshop. We are with a bunch of,
Want me to hold this?
no, we're all good. Vancouver's, creative elite in some ways, techno-enabled, diversity-minded, kind of creative thinkers and doers. And what are we doing in there?
I think we're really wrestling with a structure and a process for how to tell stories that are engaging and that actually connect with people to the point where they can relate to our story and potentially then want to activate.
I think of you as an expert in this area, so I'm especially intrigued to know what your takeaways are, what you're learning, or the issues that are coming up for you, since I consider you strong already in these areas. Yeah.
I would say today, and part of the reason I'm here, is to practice the craft. Being in the craft, in the content, in the work yourself, and birthing your own story is so much more difficult than holding somebody else and coaching them through the process.
Yeah,
so this
totally.
is part of my own empathy,
Yeah.
and also the birthing of a new potential story for me, or a progression of my own story. So it's tough. It's tough. It's wonderful to see how other people teach it, and then to feel held.
Anytime professional development takes place alongside personal development and requires openness and sharing like this, it is hard.
And
it's
I
hard.
don't think professional development really can happen without personal development.
Bam, you heard it here.
It's hard.
Empathic Sue Biely, thank you so much for being on my camera,
You're welcome.
sharing a little bit of your special sauce with the world.
I think it's the world's special sauce. I just pick up on it.
Awesome. Pull it out of the universe, girl, and share it with the rest of us. 'Cause
Yeah.
some of us are not as emotionally sophisticated,
Oh,
literate,
Lord.
or developed. So, anyway.
A blessing and a curse.
Yeah, I hear that. Kris Krug and Sue Biely signing off from the THNK School of Creative Leadership Storytelling Workshop at Vancouver Digital Week.
Once upon a time.
Over and out.